back to the 5 O'Clock Sweats podcast, the podcast where we like to talk about the things we like to do when we're off the clock, not working. I'm Ryan, and tonight I am joined by my handsomest buddy.
Hi, I'm Derick, and tonight I'm joined by my handsomest buddy.
I'm Ryan, again.
And welcome to the 5 O'Clock Sweats podcast.
You were talking about me, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So tonight we are gonna do kind of just a Derick Ryan catch-up episode with a new segment that we're kind of working on.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway,
we haven't seen you guys in a while. I moved for a while, so my computer was not plugged into anything for a span of time. Then we had the holidays and all that, and then came back for like 2 Super Bowl episodes, basically.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to get back into the regularity. Not that there's no big sporting events going on.
Oh, but that's what you think. I mean, I'm wiping my brain and I'm watching the Super Bowl again every night. I have the Men in Black. I have the Men in Black like light up stick mind wipe device, and I'm rewatching that Super Bowl, and I'm fucking going crazy every time.
So every day you wake up
every day
not having seen the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's like what's her face? It's like Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah. So how do you know that you're supposed to flash yourself when you wake up in the morning? Do you leave yourself a VHS of you crying like, man, you just gotta flash yourself? And
yeah, you just gotta do it.
You could be me again. And you just cry every day?
No, I have like my girlfriend in on the plan. Or like, no, I don't have her on the plan, but well, maybe I do. I guess it's a little different than 51st Dates, but someone has to be the one to do it. You have to
consent to getting your memory wiped.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure it's a bad look if you're just like, hey, or whatever sound it makes.
This means I can rewatch that Super Bowl every day with a clean slate, not knowing what happens. Then yeah, I'll gladly not consent to that. But in reality, I have still been living in that post Super Bowl glow. We are, what, about like 2 and almost 3 weeks removed. This upcoming Sunday will be 3 weeks from that magical night.
Whoa, can't believe that.
Yeah. So, I've still been watching like clips. They still come up on my social media feeds, and I'm still like riding that high. Like, I got to go Birds today at Wegmans. I was just at Wegmans shopping, and then I was wearing my Eagles hat, and this guy's like, "Go Birds!" And he's like decked out in all Eagles gear. Like, he's going to the tailgate. Like, hell yeah, dude. So yeah, I think me, like everyone else, like all the other Eagles fans, are still just like riding that high right now, which has been great. Trying to distract myself from the horrid season the Sixers are having, and the Flyers are staying irrelevant. So yeah, I'm just kind of gearing up, for, the Phillies are starting soon, but I'm still just like, the Eagles are still top of mind right now.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah. I have a Cooper DeJean Super Bowl patch jersey on their way. I don't know when it's going to come, but it's on the way.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
My dad wanted one. His birthday's coming up, so we picked one of those up as well, and I'm going to be jealous of it. Of nice. Him and you.
Midnight Green?
Match my dad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, nice. Yeah, we'll have to let you know when it comes in.
You guys would be like twins. Be unable to tell you apart.
No, nothing. Wow, we're identical. But yeah, for me, besides rewatching the Super Bowl highlights, I have been watching other things. I've been watching some shows. The 2 anime that I've been watching for the most part. Dragon Ball Daima and Solo Leveling, which have both been hype as fuck for the last like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's been crazy because I feel like both of them had a little bit of dip in the middle there where, I wouldn't say it got bad, but it kind of got slower.
It slowed down a bit, yeah.
But then like week after week, it was just banger after banger, and it's been good for us.
Yeah. I guess Daima, I'll like... Actually, I'll start with Daima. Daima has been like out like this past episode. We talked about it because we watched it together via Discord, which was fun. But that episode, man, that just like That episode was beautiful. It brought me back to just like the joys of being a kid watching Dragon Ball, watching these macho men powering up, fucking bulging ass muscles, fighting each other, going all out. These spectacle of battles, key blasts going back and forth, these epic transformations, and just brought me back to being a wide-eyed kid again. It was so much fun, and I've rewatched the episode numerous times. It was just a treat. And I mean, it was awesome, and that's another one I've been watching other people's reactions to that episode like nonstop.
Specifically, Daima episode 19.
Yeah. Yep, and I think before we started recording, I said, "Oh, yeah, over under 50 reactions," and it's been over. I mean, I'm struggling to find more reaction videos on YouTube at this point. It's been awesome. I mean, it was just spectacular. I mean, I know we both loved it.
Oh yeah,
really just hit all the notes. Like everything we've wanted this show to be really was just like all wrapped together in that episode for us, and it was just so fucking sick. And I just can't not wait for the season finale this Friday. Like I'm literally like I haven't been this excited.
To say.
Yeah.
Speaking of wrapping it all up, like what? How are they going to do that?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's 20 minutes. They have to do a lot in about 20 to 25 minutes, and I just hope that it's a finale that's like fulfilling and gives us closure and maybe answers some questions. I mean, it really has to answer a couple of questions, but you know, I know it's going to look amazing, and it's going to be a banger of an episode. Like I don't really have a doubt that it's going to be hype, and we're going to be talking about it for years. But I just hope that they stick the landing. But I feel like they will. I feel like this show has been pretty tightly packed and well thought out for the most part, and they've had a lot of time to work on it. So I just feel like they are going to stick the landing. It might be a little rushed, but I feel like we're going to get all of our questions answered, and we're going to have some good closure on everything. So I trust. But it's just crazy. Go ahead.
I feel like we had some interesting theories about what's going to be in this last episode, but like nobody knows.
No, nobody knows.
What I mean?
But there are some things like the fusion bugs that still have not been used yet. If you have not watched Dragon Ball Daima, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, what are you doing? You need to watch it. If you don't care, then whatever. But
yeah, those bugs are in a fissure somewhere.
Yeah, but they're going to come into play. Like I'm pretty damn sure they're going to. I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll see. And we know now how we're going to defeat the bad guy. You got to bop him in the head 3 times, in the back of the head. Bop him 3 times. Who's it going to be? Who's going to do it? I don't know. Could be multiple people. I have no idea. I want Hybis to throw his hat at the back of Goma's head for the final blow.
He's been instrumental in this campaign so far.
He's been so funny. He's just there.
Yeah, and Dende's back to not being a baby and might have immediately a crush.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku he just looks so cool.
Adult Super Saiyan 4
Goku. I like the kid version too, but the adult version just hits another level. Like it's beautiful.
And we get to see him fight in the last episode.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a substantial amount of time too. I mean, it can't be too much time because they still have to close everything up in a nice bow, but I'm expecting like a solid like 5 to 8 minutes of like just pure Super Saiyan 4 action with crazy animation. Like the animator that's working on it, I forget his name, but he's worked on the best moments from Dragon Ball Broly, like the Gogeta fight. He was the lead animator on that.
Ooh.
The Goku Ultra Instinct Jiren fight in the last couple episodes of Super, he worked on that. So I'm expecting just pure and utter greatness. And yeah, I can't wait for Friday. I really haven't been this excited for a show, like an episode of a show, in a long time.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Probably since Attack on Titan.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. Probably since Attack on Titan. That is true. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm happy that we're here with this show because I've liked the show from the beginning, and it did hit a little bit of it was a bit of a dud for a couple of weeks. Not bad, but just like, what are we doing? But yeah, overall, I've really enjoyed this show. This show is really. So I was listening to a podcast about this particular episode, but then someone brought up the fact that this show is basically just one elongated Dragon Ball movie, and It really could be. This could be a movie if they just condensed it a little bit
Yeah.
into like 2 hours. Like
Yeah.
cut some of the fat. But this is really just a movie. I mean, the quality of the show, like consistency throughout, has just been movie quality. I mean, this past episode looks as good as anything else we've ever seen, even from the Dragon Ball movies. Like the animation quality has been so consistent, so damn good. So, yeah.
I feel like they have a very good style of like illustrating power. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was the Kid Goku Super Saiyan 4 transformation
Mhm.
where like the frame rate slowed down like during the transformation. Oh, also they made Goku a magical girl, basically. They just gave him like a whole transformation sequence into Super Saiyan 4. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's interesting.
Well, it was triggered
It's
by
cool.
magic. Yeah. It was triggered by magic. I mean, that's one of the big questions. That's one of the big questions of the show is like, how is he able to access this form, and why can't he access it after this show? Because this show takes place between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, and it's been confirmed to be canon, and Super is also confirmed to be canon. So they have to write in some way, some reason why you can't use it after the show. But
Yeah,
who
he's
knows?
like, oh, I never thought about it.
Yeah,
After that.
Who knows? I mean, there's different ways they could do it. I just hope that it's, I don't really care how they do it, as long as they do it, as long as they acknowledge it, because it will bother people. I mean, I'm not really one of those people that's like, I need an answer, but there's a lot of people out there that'll be really upset if there's not sort of some sort of answer to, to
any question.
to any questions, like to like what's the continuity here, like why, like whatever. But or he's just gonna troll everybody. He's like, I'm dead now, so you guys are all fucked. You're not getting any answers,
man.
That's messed up. But
he's like, 40 more years of Dragon Ball, psych.
I'm so grateful that this is the last thing he gave us. It's been awesome. But
yeah, do you want to trade off topics, or do you want to just bang through yours?
I don't know
what else you got.
I mean, we can trade off. I do want to say, I depending on how this finale goes with Daima, I wouldn't mind doing like a full series recap / finale recap with you next week or something.
Oh no, you're gonna make me rewatch Daima? Oh no.
just that hamster episode.
That was the filleriest episode.
It was incredibly fillery,
season.
unless it somehow comes into play this last episode, which would be crazy. But
there has to be something, because I mean the demon worlds are connected now. Goma, I assume, is going to be dethroned. So like, who's going to end up on the throne? No idea.
Pansy and her are dead, probably, but who knows?
They're going to have to deal with those giants.
Hybus.
Degesu's girlfriend. Yeah, we still don't know what happened to Degesu. He was just kind of like gone. Near a ship and then got defeated. I think he just decided to not show up in the last episode.
He just got embarrassed, and he doesn't want to show his face anymore, so I think he's done.
Yeah. Good call. All
right, let's transition over to what you've been up to.
Yeah, so I think I talked about it on a episode, I don't know how far back, but I am currently DMing for a table of 3 players. Ryan is one of them.
I am one of them, yes.
So
awesome.
But by the numbers, this is a lot of what I've been doing recently, which is there's an idea in my head where we're playing Forgotten Realms, right? Like there's settings, there's locations, and I feel like a toddler sometimes, like just having these ideas and then playing with that, like square peg goes in the square hole, circle peg goes in the circle hole. I feel like I'm just taking these ideas and like jamming them into the map somewhere to make them fit. So DMing so far, although I knew it would be difficult, it is a completely different challenge than I thought maybe it would have been before this.
Really?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I think before this, in my mind, it was just like all preparation. And if I just spent time preparing for things, then that would probably cover me. But I mean, I know from being a player, like any one player can just blow the DMs, the whole shit up forever, basically.
Yeah.
So like, I think I really can't prepare as much as maybe I have been. So it's leaving a lot of me having to try to figure stuff out on the fly, which I mean is common, right? Like essentially the four of us are just building this whole plane together as we fly it, right?
Yep.
But like, man, when we get off this plane, like I want you guys to like the flight and where we've landed.
Hey, it's been great so far. No turbulence, really. Besides me getting fucked up by wolves and a bear, but I'm really by my own doing.
And it is also sort of kind of a little bit your job.
It is my job. I'm the dwarf. I'm kind of the tank. I'm the hand-to-hand combat guy. I get up in there, up close and personal.
Yeah, actually, there was a moment in this past session. We played this past Friday, just a couple of nights ago, and we've been doing it remotely, just on Discord, which has its benefits, right? Like people can more easily guarantee that they have time to spare because there's no having to like, you know, look for a dog sitter or like figure out when you're gonna drive over and how you're gonna get back home after. Like we can just hop on, be here, hop off, and we're already home. Like it's great. However, there are like just playing in a physical space with somebody is so much more satisfying.
Yeah.
Especially for those big rolls. Because there was a moment where we, in our last session, I believe, rolled our first critical hit of the campaign.
Yes.
This owl bear had just crashed through the bushes and into a clearing, looking for our 3 party members and their wolf pup. And they had a little bit of time to try to hide because they had a little bit of a warning mechanism before that. But to no avail, the owl bear tilted its head into the wind and did that creepy thing that owls do where they turn their heads all the way around and it's all squishy. Yeah. And it found you guys and you got hit hard. And I really didn't pull any punches in that fight. Our ranger and our sorcerer did well to get away. You did well to stay there.
Yeah.
And you were very close to going down.
I was down to 5 HP. One more hit, really.
I think I told you that you needed to roll max damage on your turn in order to have a chance at this thing. And you decided, I think, to try it, but you missed or something like that. Or you tried it and you hit, but you had just leveled up just before the session. Mm-hmm. You are a fighter. You got action surge.
Action surge, baby. Basically 2 attacks.
And on that second attack, you rolled the first critical hit of the campaign, a natural 20. I asked you to roll for hit. You looked down, you said 20. And that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, like a natural 20? Like what, like on the dice? And you're like, yeah. Like that's a critical hit. When I had you describe, I don't know if you want to do it now. You can make some shit up.
I know. I mean, I basically I had my battle axe. I had my shield. So I'm a dwarf and I have my shield and my battle axe. I dropped my shield. I threw it off to the side. And
like Leonidas.
Yeah. It was weighing me down. It was throwing off my balance. So I grabbed my battle axe with 2 hands. 2 hands on the shaft of the battle axe. Mm-hmm. Over my head, and then with a thunderous roar, I just swung down on this thing's neck and clean cut right through the neck.
Yeah, you turned an owl bear into an owl and a bear.
Yeah,
basically.
The 2, basically. I gave him an honorable, clean, and quick death, and hopefully painless, because my dwarf character does have a soft spot for animals, even though I just decapitated one. But I mean, he was trying to kill us, so I had to do what's best for the team.
Yeah, that's true. And I I just wish that moment could have been a little bit bigger. And the reason it wasn't is purely because we're doing this on the internet.
True.
Like I literally cannot see your dice. Whereas our first session we did in Ryan's living room, we're rolling our dice on the table in front of people.
Yeah.
Right? So if you'd have gotten that natural 20 off, that critical, beheaded this owlbear, people are lifting you up in the room.
Oh, I would have made
opening another beer.
I would have made a scene. Yeah, I would have shotgunned the beer right before. Then I would have just like stood up in front of everybody, and I would have been like, ah! I had like a baseball bat in here. I would have used that as a prop.
Oh my gosh,
it would have been gorgeous. So yeah, we have to do another in-person session sometime.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I know. At least next month is pretty busy, and then the month after that, hopefully, it starts warming up a little bit, and people, cars, places, the sun, a little bit more amenable to plans. Maybe
for sure. Yeah,
but yeah, there is still stuff that I'm learning. Like I didn't expect to be good at this out the gate. And I am. I think I asked for feedback after every session so far. Like as soon as we ended the session, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know how to fucking do this, guys." Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
I have no idea what you're saying.
I don't even have feedback because I'll be honest. This is only truly the third time I've played. Maybe honestly, probably the second because I feel like the first two times were with. Actually, no, they were with two different groups. But I mean, you're by far the best DM. I mean. Those other two DMs, I mean, those were kind of like thrown together, and then this one, you put a lot of thought and effort into it, and you've actually gone on your way to like ask us questions about our characters on the side, and you integrate them into the story and everything. And oh yeah, you're by far the best. But again, I'm only speaking having done this two other times, and this is the longest session that I've ever done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for sure, you're doing a great job. I don't have any notes so far, and I honestly, I probably will never have any notes because you've been the best so far. And I was like, what am I comparing it to?
Yeah, I have a note literally here that says it's tough to do a session and then be like, tell me now how I did bad, please. Tell me now with your mouth. Tell me.
I mean, all the encounters have been pretty exciting, and you do funny and unique voices for some of the characters we meet, and you have the music playing in the background. It's very immersive.
I have to endear them to you.
Yeah.
Only way I can get you guys to not kill NPCs is give them a cool voice.
But yeah, you've just done a great job. I applaud you, and we appreciate all the hard work you've done. It's been great.
Thank you. I think what I really need to work on is like the connective tissue, because again, I've got a lot of ideas, but I'm bad at really narrating like how to connect them or like really knowing the vehicle to do that. And like I want to build this adventure and have you guys come along with us. You know what I mean? Like it's not just me doing this thing and you guys are like going through my course, like I want us to build this together, and it's tough to do that while also being like, you're going to Baldur's Gate now. Which basically I told you, like, you are going to Baldur's Gate now.
we have arrived at Baldur's Gate. So
you did have an option to say no. You could have said no to the priest, but like I don't think you were ever really going to say no to him.
No, of course we're going to go to Baldur's Gate. Why wouldn't I go to Baldur's Gate? I mean, it's Baldur's Gate.
As frustrating and over preparing as I am, it has been fun. So that's a little bit of what I've been doing. How about we throw it back to you?
Yeah. So I did talk about Daima. I mean, there's other shows I've been watching. I'm not going to go as in depth with these ones because I don't have as much to say about them so far, but Solo Leveling's been hype. I mean, you and I talk about it every week when we watch it. I mean, it's just like god tier animation, action, and like I don't know. The story's good, but like honestly, I'm just tuning in really to see what Sung. His name's Sung, right? Jinwoo Sung. Yeah. Just seeing what how strong is he now? Like basically, like he's so OP. I mean, this last episode, you know, obviously he came close to losing. Like he was in trouble, but
yeah, and he knew he was in trouble too.
yeah. I mean, we
Because he
haven't
was
seen
like,
him.
I gotta fucking take that Drake down, like now, or a wyvern.
And he's been so OP for like a while now that it was good to see him kind of struggle again, because you know it's going to happen. Like he can't always just own the opponents.
Yeah,
but
and for so long he was in the demon castle or whatever.
Yeah,
and he was just destroying stuff there and like quietly leveling up. And like we knew he was strong, but these last couple of episodes, it's like this is the result of that training.
Yeah,
like he can just blow everybody and everything away.
Yeah, he's taking down other S tier enemies, so like he's S tier, but like
S plus.
He's getting beyond S tier, like whatever that is.
Super Saiyan.
And the season's been fun so far. And then it's they had to jam a lot into it. I don't read the manga, but I know like this season was going to adapt a bunch of different arcs and whatnot, and people were worried that it was going to be too sped up. And so far, you know, I didn't read the manga, but so far I feel like as a viewer, as an anime only viewer, the story's been progressing pretty well, at a good pace. And you know, hopefully it stays that way for the remainder of the season, because I think we have like 5-6 episodes left of the season. I think
I could tell you if I had that up.
Season 1 was 13 episodes, and I think this one's supposed to be the same.
Yeah, 13 episodes.
Yeah, so we have like 5. Well, this last one was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 episodes left. Yeah. So, yeah, we're about to come up to a big arc here. It's the what's the name of that island again?
Jeju Island.
Jeju Island. Yeah. So we're gonna have a big raid there, and that's gonna be fucking insane, I'm sure.
And
yeah,
you won't get this, but I was reading a little bit just online about this episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago. Anyway, they were saying like, oh well, they're going to get to the Chimera Ant arc, and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, why is that confusing me so much? It's because that's the name of the last arc in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
they also had a Chimera Ant problem on an island.
Interesting. Little derivative. The classic ant anime problems.
But they're strong as fuck. It seems in both cases.
Yeah, because like they don't like this bug didn't like this random bug that was in this last episode like doesn't look strong. Like it just looks like a bug, but it's apparently like A tier level of power and strength. Yeah. So if there's thousands of those things, then they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, there's only one guy I know that can make that many things to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes, but so far it's been awesome. And on another show note, I'm gonna pivot away from the animated genre, or medium. I've been watching some live action things with real people, and 2 of them have starred none other than Billy Bob Thornton, and I've become very fond of his work because I know Billy Bob Thornton, but mainly from like Bad Santa, and then like the Bad News Bears movie he was in years ago. I know he's a good actor, but I mean, I've been watching Landman. I finished Landman, which is a new show on Paramount, I think. Mm-hmm. Great show, by the way. Like, highly recommend it. He's so good. He just plays this type of character so well. He's so funny, but he can also like. He's just a great actor. And
Crisis executive really well Tommy Norris tries to bring his company to the top during a fueling boom. Is that it?
Yeah, basically. It's about like oil drilling in Texas, and Billy Bob Thornton's character is basically like the manager, the landman, the manager of that operation, and then John Hamm is like the big corporate guy that's funding it all. And it's like his company, and just a lot, and there's a lot of hot women in it. It's got a little bit of everything. it's a great show. Highly recommend, and Billy Bob's great. And then the other show I was watching, Fargo season 1, which is
That's so funny.
it's an anthology series, which I didn't realize until after
Yeah, I don't know
started
anything
watching it.
about Fargo. I didn't know.
Yeah,
That.
so I've seen the movie. I saw the movie years ago. The movie's really good.
I don't think I've seen that either.
Yeah, it's just about it's like a crime. It's like a comedy / like crime mystery movie set in Minnesota. So this show is kind of that same vibe where there's a crime and these Minnesota detectives are trying to figure it out, these police officers, and they speak all Minnesotan, like, oh, don't you know, and all that good stuff. They're all super nice, and like their delivery for every line is just so great. I don't know. I can't really describe it. You just have to watch it and experience it. But Billy Bob's
I do believe you.
Okay. But Billy Bob's in the show too, and he plays a completely different character, but he is just so damn good. And we have what's his face, who played Bilbo, who played Martin Freeman,
Colin Hanks, Bob Odenkirk,
Colin Hanks, Bob Odenkirk's in it, yeah.
John Hamm again.
Well, so Chris Rock's in another. He's in another season of the show because it's an anthology series, so it's different actors. But yeah, the ones you named before are all in this season. So big fan. Another show I highly recommend. And then the other show that I just started again, it's airing right now. It's White Lotus season 3. Huge fan of White Lotus season 1 and 2. It's on HBO. It's really good.
Season 3 already?
Yeah. Another anthology series. It's a brand new cast each season. I like these. I like anthology shows because I don't know, just like you get a condensed, tightly packed 10 episodes with this set of characters, and you know they can just tell a quick, like a tight and good story in 10 episodes, and then you don't have to worry. You don't have to invest too much time with the characters or anything. You just like it's like a morsel. Like obviously like.
It's a tight morsel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used the word tight more times than I wanted to.
I don't know.
But I mean, listen,
sounds like maybe you.
Listen, I like a show that, you know, has seasons and seasons of character building and arcs and whatnot. But I also do appreciate like just a short 8 episode series with one cast, and then you wash your hands of them and you're done.
Yeah,
like True Detective season 1 is like one of my favorites. True Detective season 1 is one of the goats of that in that realm of TV show. So good. But yeah, White Lotus season 3 has been good so far. It's only been 2 episodes, so I don't have much to say about it. I like the cast. I don't know if there's anyone in it that you would recognize. I mean, what's his name? He was in Fallout. Walter Goggins, is that his name?
Oh, Walton Goggins?
Walton Goggins, yeah, Walton Goggins. He's in that. An actress from Sex Education on Netflix, which is a show I really like. She's in it. And there's some other guys I recognize, like their faces, but I don't know them by name.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast right now, and I definitely recognize some people, but I don't know if it's specifically this season or not.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I am looking at season 3. Yeah. Anyway,
so I highly recommend the White Lotus series. I know it's really popular, so probably most people have probably been watching it. But if you haven't watched it, Derek, which I don't think you have,
nope, never.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's
it's just
why
like
I was surprised they were on season 3.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of people go on a trip to this island or a place that has a hotel that's called the White Lotus Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then just some crazy shit happens. And then these different groups of people that they're following like end up like mingling in some way. They start mixing together, and then just some outrageous, crazy shit happens. It's fun. It's like a train wreck. You just can't keep your eyes off it. Or I guess a car wreck. That's really the way I should have said it. But anyway. Yeah, so that's really all I've been watching in regards to the shows. I haven't really watched any movies recently. I'm trying to get back on the movie train, but right now, just shows have been kind of more palatable for me. I randomly got the urge to rewatch Godzilla -1 again recently, but I haven't done it.
Ooh,
Probably
I would rewatch that.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. But probably because they are the director is actively writing the sequel to that now. So I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get more Godzilla.
What do you think it's going to be called?
-2.
It has to.
Or I guess Godzilla 0.
Godzilla 0 would actually fuck.
Yeah.
That's a sick name.
Yeah.
Especially if he's defending, or Godzilla +1 if he's helping them.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. But no, actually I hope that they stick with like the Godzilla being the antagonist, because that works so well on -1. So we will see. But do want to watch more movies, so I will report back when I have watched some movies. I might watch some of the Oscar ones, although I heard the batch this year isn't very good.
Oh yeah,
So-
we were talking to a friend of the show, Connor, who is also at our D&D table.
Yes, he is. Our archer. He's our archer, right? He's our archer. Yeah.
He's a ranger.
Ranger. Yeah, he watches the Oscar movies every year, so I'm not surprised he's doing that again. But he did say that this year's movies aren't great.
Yeesh.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, what do you got? Anything else you've been up to?
Yeah. How are we on time? I'm good. So there's an anime that I've brought to this show. I think the last 2 times. I do kind of want to save the anime talk for the anime episode,
Which
so
will be coming eventually.
It will. So I don't really want to spoil it too much, but I picked this one back up after taking a pretty long break from it. And by long break, I mean, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, maybe 12. Oh, it might have been
12.
like 2 to 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, that is a long break.
Yeah. But Orb on the Movements of the Earth. This is historical fiction. It pulled me in because it absolutely smashed the 3-episode test. I wasn't sure about it in the first episode. In the second episode, I said I'd give myself the 3rd episode. I won't judge it now. I'll give it 3. And wow, that 3rd episode, I did not know what was going to happen.
It's like it knew about your test, and it was like, we have to specifically target Derick, and we have to blow him away with this 3rd episode.
And then after that, it slowed down a little bit. And I knew that when I came back from the break, there would be a little bit more of a pickup in pace, which it kind of has. But I think that I am definitely in it for the long haul. And by that, I mean 25 episodes. It's not really, like I'm making a huge sacrifice here. But this is an anime, a historical fiction about when the church was persecuting people who were against their teachings and beliefs, particularly about space and the sun and the earth. So it's about like the inception of the ideas of heliocentrism, right? Instead of the earth being at the center of the universe because God loved us so much. Instead, it's no, we're revolving around the sun, and the church is trying to, squash that basically. My brother-in-law is very, very into space. He's also very into music. He played the trumpet for quite some time. And even when we went to that Eagles-Browns game earlier in the season, we were listening to a song in a car that had an interesting switch in time signature. And we were trying to figure out how to count it, whether it was, this and then this, or if it's one that, whatever. But the ending for this show for most of the season also has a weird time signature. So I'm like, why have I not recommended this to my brother-in-law? And I was reminded of why last night. And it's because, again, the church was just going after people. Yeah. And this show is about the people who are trying to spread those ideas. And people get very, very unalived and very, very tortured, like a lot. And it can be a tough watch.
Okay.
Like, especially what I saw yesterday left me feeling worse.
Yeah.
As a human.
That's okay. I get that. Now, you saying
however,
this makes me want to watch it more.
Yeah, people who like Orb on the Movements of the Earth tend to say that it reminds them of Vinland Saga.
Oh, love that show.
Then again, I've not seen Vinland Saga.
So good.
But I believe it's also historical fiction. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So same type of vibe, maybe. So maybe that means that I'll be watching Vinland Saga sometime soon.
I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah, I maybe hold off until I finish all of Orb, and we'll see whether or not it's worth it to watch.
Okay, that's fair.
I think maybe still Apothecary Diaries is something.
I gotta put that on my radar too. I gotta check that out.
Other than that, I've been watching The Traders Australia. That's a game show, reality game show. It's kind of like Werewolf, basically. I forget how many people there are. I think there's 20, and 3 of them get chosen to be the traitors, and they just have to take out all the faithful and not get caught. So it's like Among Us or Werewolf or whatever you want to call that.
I never even heard of Werewolf. I mean, I know Among Us.
Yeah, basically that. People trying to kill other people while trying to remain as part of the crew or whatever you want to call it.
This is a real show?
Yeah. And
with real people?
Yeah, so they don't kill each other, but it's like a reality game show. I don't know what to compare it to because I don't typically watch a ton of game shows. Maybe Survivor, I don't know. But there's a bunch of challenges. Like the one in the most recent episode is they have to like crawl under some barbed wire, which I don't think was real because production. And they had to go up to these landmines, and there were facts maybe written around them. They had to stand next to the mines that they thought had true facts instead of false ones. And if the mine blew up, then that's bad. And if it didn't, then your team gets more money added to the prize pot.
Interesting. Okay.
Depending on who wins the challenge, then one person could get like an immunity shield, but nobody knows who has it. Then they all talk. They all gather around like a meeting in Among Us. They say who they think is a traitor. Then one person gets voted out. They say whether or not they were a traitor or a faithful. And then everybody goes back to their room for the night. And then in the middle of the night, the traitors meet, decide who they want to kill. And then it's breakfast the next morning. And you just have to wait and see who walks in and which one person doesn't walk in. This season is apparently infamous in Australia because it got the show canceled in Australia.
Oh,
because they didn't play it well at all. The players, apparently the ratings were so bad because of how poor they did that they just decided not to do a season 3.
I thought that something crazy happened. They actually killed somebody.
Privacy out.
Yeah, or something. There was some sort of big controversy.
The one guy keeps walking into one of the rooms, and every time he's in the room, he swings a little sword around. I'm like, that maybe watch him a little bit.
He's a wild card. Yeah.
But the last thing that I'm watching is, I think 2 years ago, I went through all the Studio Ghibli movies, and I think I kind of want to do that regularly. Just because I forget so much. I might want to do that, but
make it an annual thing.
I had a secondary urge, which is now I'm going to watch all of the Wes Anderson films. That was something I endeavored to do early doors during the lockdown, maybe 2020, 2021-ish. I started watching a couple of Wes Anderson movies with one of my friends in Pennsylvania. But there are still a number that I haven't seen. I've seen Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, Darjeeling Limited, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Grand Budapest Hotel. And last night I watched the first one, Bottle Rocket. And that's just Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson playing not brothers, which I had to actively think about for a lot of the movie.
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, they're playing friends. They're not brothers. They're playing friends. They're not brothers.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so next up on the list will be Rushmore, which I think the first time I saw it, I wasn't too keen on. Then Royal Tenenbaums right after that, which I really liked. That is
I've only seen Grand Budapest Hotel, I've seen Moonrise Kingdom, and I've seen Life Aquatic. And I think that might be it.
I really liked Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, that was they had a lot of Oscar buzz when it came out, I think. So I think that's when that's why I watched it. It's been years. I had to rewatch it again, but I do remember it. I do remember liking it. Life Aquatic's pretty good. Moonrise Kingdom also. I think that might be my favorite out of those three.
I think I liked Life Aquatic the least out of all the ones I watched. And I don't really know why. I just wasn't super into it. And like I know that the Wes Anderson style can kind of be, not for everybody, but I don't know, something was just different about that movie. Can't put my finger on it. Yeah, maybe the second time around I'll figure out why.
Maybe it's aged better for you, like a fine wine.
But that's it for what I've been doing. You want to give this new segment a whirl?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl. Why not?
Okay, so a little bit of background on this. Currently, it is nearing the end of February. The Super Bowl has happened, so we are not getting any more football. The Formula One season, also in the off season. We just had the unveiling of all the deliveries, I think last week. So no new Formula One anytime soon. I am not watching the Sixers this season.
Beyond apathetic.
I don't want to get into it.
But yeah, you're saving yourself. It's good. Don't stay far away.
So I don't really have any like regular TV to watch. So I said to myself, like, maybe this is the year that we finally get into some of the things that we might want to get into. Like things for the past years I've been trying to get into but have failed. That includes stuff like watching the Philadelphia Union, which I did watch their first two games. The Philadelphia Flyers, which it's every time I catch a game, I just want to. I feel like I should be more into it. I even thought about watching NASCAR. I thought about it, and
it's not like Formula One.
It ain't. And I think what I settled on were watching the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, that comes with a little bit of trepidation. It's a long word, Tuesday. Trepidation, because I don't really know a ton about baseball. Like I remember, I know broad strokes rules, but I don't know more nuanced things. And that's the type of stuff that I find interesting. And I feel like I can remember when I was this broad strokes with football. And then you kind of learn like the ins and outs of the penalties and like the formations and stuff. And then like the same thing with Formula One, right? Car go fast. And then like you start to think about the strategy and all the technical stuff. Yeah. So like learning things more than what I know, I guess, I think is fun. And I thought it would be fun specifically to ask you and Chris to teach me about baseball. So
yeah,
I kind of want to just ask you some questions, kind of like a no dumb questions type thing.
Of course, yeah.
How many of these should I ask? I figure I'll have more after I watch games. Because like it tends to be stuff that like commentators will say, and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell that is.
Or what that is, who that is,
Yeah.
what.
And like not every term is going to come up in every game.
Why did this player do this in this situation, et cetera, et cetera? Why is this happening? Yeah, I mean we're about a month away from the season opener. They are playing games right now. They're playing in Florida.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
spring training is spring training. It is what it is. It means really nothing.
How long does it last? There's a question.
It's about a month and a half. They start in February, like middle of February, and they go till about the end of March. Opening day this year is March 27th, I believe. It usually is either the last week of March or the first week of April. And this year it's the last weekend of March.
Oh, yeah. We were saying that because it's my aunt's birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So, yeah, spring training, I feel like, in my opinion, is a little too long, but whatever. Yeah. Gives people an excuse to get on to Florida for a month to catch some games, which, by the way, is an awesome experience. I highly recommend going.
Yeah, you went down there with your dad, right?
Right before COVID. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Literally got back and then things shut down.
Yeah, wow.
Went down like early March of 2020.
I forgot
or late
about
February
that.
2020, I forget, but yeah.
I think the whole plane thing overshadowed the pandemic thing at that point in time, at least specifically for you. But
yeah.
How big is a roster? How many guys are on these teams?
So there's 26 people on a major league roster.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I guess you want to say there's a 40-man roster, which includes players in the minors that can be brought up and that can be promoted, brought up to the majors if need be. But the major league roster can only hold 26 players at a time until September, which then the rosters expand to 28. It used to be more than that, but they have since reduced it to only 2.
How long ago was it more than that?
It wasn't too long. I think I want to say in the last 5 years they've changed that, but I could be wrong. But it used to be more players would come up. I forget the number exactly, but it was 5 or something like that. But now it's only 2.
What was their reasoning for cutting down the size?
Not entirely sure. I think maybe just I don't know, bloating the roster. I'm not quite sure.
That's what I figured it was.
But anyway, so yeah, 2 players get to be brought up in September because it's a long season, 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 26 players for the most part for most of the season on a major league roster. And that includes all the starters, all the infielders, outfielders, reserve bats, relief pitchers, starters, etc. So yeah, that's what that covers.
I also have, how many pitchers do you normally have? Oh boy.
So you have 5 starters usually. Now some teams do 6, but that's been a little more common. But the traditional starting pitching rotation is 5 pitchers.
Is that so they start in a game and then don't have to fucking worry about the next 4 games?
Yeah, basically. So they start and then they have about 4 days off. Usually every 5 days you pitch. And then bullpen wise, let's see here. How many bullpen arms do you usually have? You usually have closer, setup guy, usually 2 setup people. Middle relief,
Don't
3 3 or 4 guys. Middle relief basically refers to middle relief is middle innings of the game. Say your starter is pitching and they're not doing too well, so they have to leave in the 4th inning or the 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
The middle relief would come in around the 5th or the 6th inning to cover those 2 innings. Basically, middle of the game for me is 5, 6. 5th inning, 6th inning, and 7th inning, and then you have your setup guy come in the 8th, and then your closer in the 9th. So with that in mind, 5 starters, and then usually have 2 long men, which basically that's when your starting pitcher gets shelled in the first inning, and then you have to get him out of there, and you bring this person in to basically eat 4 innings for you, so before you bring the bullpen in.
Right.
So you usually have 2 of those guys, 2 or 3 middle relief guys, two setup guys usually, and ideally you have one righty, one right-hander, one left-hander that you can rely on in high leverage late inning situations, and then a closer whose job is to come in and close out the game in the ninth inning.
That makes
I
sense.
didn't count there, but
Neither did I. I was
like eight.
I had more questions spawned from the answer.
I'd say about like eight relievers and then the 5 starters. So you're looking at about 12 to 13 pitchers on a roster.
Because I feel like, given the size of a roster, I'm always surprised when they like pan over and there's just like a bazillion pitchers. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, it's a long season, and
yeah,
pitching takes a lot. It takes a toll on your arm, and that's why like a lot of teams are moving to a 6-man rotation to give guys even more rest because it's a long season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Phillies have a lot of pitching, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that at some point.
And the last question I had, at least for tonight, we're kind of bumping up on time here. You talked about bringing up guys from the other leagues. Like what's the ladder like from the bottom up to MLB?
So you have single A, double A, and triple A.
And that is like starting from 0? Basically,
like you get drafted and then you get sent to like single A usually, and you're working your way up. Single A, I forget where the Phillies play for single A, but double A is in Reading, and then triple A is in Lehigh Valley. So basically, each player is different. All prospects take different paths to the majors. Some of them, get expedited, like are in the minors maybe a year or 2 years, and they're in the majors. Like Aaron Nola is an example of a guy who had a fast track to the majors. Like he did not spend a lot of time in the minors at all because he was so good. The Phillies currently have a guy named Andrew Painter who has basically been dominant at every level he's pitched in so far, and he was set back by Tommy John surgery last year. So he's back this year. Or Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. He missed all last year. He's back this year. He'll be on the major league roster at some point, but he's got to pitch his way back and earn it again. But typically, you sometimes will see guys get promoted from double A to the majors, depending on how well they're doing and like how highly touted they are as prospects. But most times you're going to be in the single A for a little bit. If you're like, if you're dominating in that level, you're going to get promoted to double A. And then from then on, they want to see how you adjust. Because I think really like the best pitching is in double A probably, because you have a lot of young like top level prospects in there, whereas like triple A is a lot of like major league retreads that have been like up and down between like majors and
yeah,
triple A.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I think double A pitching is a lot better overall. So if you're dominating there, depending on who you are and the team's needs, you might get promoted from there. But yeah, double A, you go to triple A, and then just a matter of time until you get called up, and you might get called up for injury. Like if a guy gets hurt and they need someone to take his place, you get promoted. Or a guy gets demoted at the majors because he's not performing, so they promote you instead to take his place. And then when the guys get hurt, like if Bryce Harper gets hurt and he's trying to rehab, he'll go to, he'll go to Lehigh Valley to do his rehab games there once he's ready. So yeah, that's and baseball prospects it's different. Like it's not like the NFL where like those guys make an immediate impact, or even like the NBA where those guys make an immediate impact usually. Like baseball is a process. Like you draft a guy, a lot of guys are drafting players that are in high school still. It takes years for those guys to really make their way to the majors. Again, depends who you are, but most prospects are, you're not going to see them for like another 4 or 5 years after they're drafted.
Yeah. Well, that's a session we're calling Derick Learns Baseball, or Teach Derick Baseball. I don't know what's better. Working title.
Yeah.
But speaking of promotions, if you want to promote us, you can promote our Instagram. We are at 5 o'clock sweats over there. We are still on X. We are at 5 o'clock sweats over there. We are available in audio video format on YouTube. as well as audio format only on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Anything else, man?
That's all I got.
Nice. Good to see you again, man.
I know. I thought we did just see each other on Friday, but yeah, I do miss seeing you in person more often. But
Yeah.
hey,
you're gonna see me for another D&D session this upcoming Friday. So,
oh yeah,
there's some
more
time.
owl bears to slain to
There's
behead.
2 of them now. And as always, stay sweaty. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'm doing.
What's that?
Wouldn't you like to know? You'll find out in the upcoming episode.
Surprise me.
Whoa. Okay. See, if we were a different podcast, that would have been our intro, and then it would have fucking faded into the music. And then it would get back into the episode. You'd be like, what's up, YouTube? No.
That would be sick,
We're
actually.
not that podcast.
No, little tease, a little teaser. You're like, oh, you hear this? You want to hear more? You want to hear more? You're gonna have to freaking watch the rest of the episode and earn it, bitch.